and welcome back everyone, welcome back to the semi-finals here of the WardiTV Monday number 94. We just wrapped up with the previous quarterfinals match, and now we're here in the semis and we are jumping in mid-series. As a reminder, game 1 did occur off-stream, was being covered, I say off-stream, off this stream, was being covered by Wardi. Game 1 was actually a very long game on Fear and Faith. It did hit the late game, and actually our Protoss player is leading the series. Let's jump in. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Rorschach, we have the blue Zerg player, himself. Representing onside, it is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial PvZ. Now, when it comes to the previous game, it was on Fear and Faith, and they were on cross spawns, which meant longer rush distance by ground. That did allow for Classic to actually build up into Skytoss. He was able to build up into his death pool of a Skytoss army. SHIN had a very hard time engaging and dealing with it, and in the end, SHIN was overwhelmed. We'll see if Classic can achieve that kind of success on a much smaller map. Welcome to Rorschach. Rorschach is a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground, shorter rush distance by air as well. Aggression is favored, and I'm curious to see how Classic will approach this, as he does go Nexus first. Okay. Next first at a Classic, cutting corners, but again, I feel like you need to cut corners against Zerg right now. You have to cut corners, be hyper greedy, be hyper aggressive, you go do something, and we'll see what Classic does, kind of what build he delves into. In my mind, we have been seeing a lot of Mothership rushes, and I wouldn't be opposed to a Mothership rush here. Otherwise, we could see a fast Twilight Council into early Glaive Adepts after the Stargate, of course. Eyes are on Classic, as we expect something unorthodox on Rorschach. Those are our expectations. We'll see if our players meet those expectations. For now, though, we're going to be settling in. We're going to be calming down. Calming down. Classic does pick in. It's going to be our initial Zealot here from Classic. Again, it was Nexus first, into safety Zealot, as it was a delayed Cyber Core. So you have to go for that safe follow-up, just to be secure. So what if Hero played Zerg versus Exo Striker? That's a good question. He may have, to be honest. It's always hard to know for certain without reaching out to the player. Like, unfortunately, Hero, he already logged out, so I can't quite ask him. But, we'll have to do some investigations about that. Because he may have, to be honest. Like, if Hero felt confident enough to play Zerg against Trap, there's a good chance that he played Zerg against Exo Striker. But, again, hard to say. We'll have to reach out to the players at some point to confirm. From here, it is going to be the Stargate open at a Classic. Oh, opening up Void Ray this time. Okay, so Void Ray opener. With this, we can hunt down Overlords, deny vision, deny scouting, and try to keep SHIN in the dark. From here, we can go into a Fleet Beacon, second Stargate, into a Twilight Council. Classic does have options as to where he wants to take us after said Void Ray opener. Does have options. Classic does find the Overlord. We'll hunt it down. So far, just going Void Ray into Oracle. On the flip side of things here, SHIN just been droning, saturating, going for his own third. Building up on 3 bases, and we have the answer here: double Stargate, and a Fortress +1 for cannons specifically. So we're rushing Skytoss. Now, I'll be honest, not going for a fast Fleet Beacon here feels a little bit risky, Obviously, with a shorter rush distance by ground, if SHIN can recognize what's going on, he can hit real hard and real fast off of 63 drones. If we drone up to 3 base saturation, get a 4th base just for lava, and go Ling Hydra, this will hit very hard. Lair is going to be on the way, and we'll see what tech SHIN goes into. Now, this was a 5-minute lair, so more standard lair timing here. I believe there's no early tech. Yeah, there's no Evo chamber, there's no roach horn, gases are being taken. It looks like we are rushing into hydras. That's what it perceives to me to be. We could even go Spire and go Queen Corruptor, or we could go Ling Hydra. Those are 2 viable options here against a Skytoss rush. We're now building up to triple Stargate, mass Void Ray. Again, I believe this fleet beacon should just be for the mothership and just go mass Void initially, then eventually into Carrier. But we could try to just rush completely and straight away into Carrier or Tempest. But there we go. Safety Void Rays first. So Voiders are amassing. We're going back to 2021. True. And it looks like it is indeed going to be not Ling Hydra, it's going to be Queen Corruptor. I say Queen Corruptor, looks like it's going to be Ravager Corruptor instead. This does have a bigger power spike here, and it does scale better into a longer game for SHIN. But it does take a little bit longer to get going, and you have to rely on Queens to defend early on. So this is going to have a bit of a shakier mid-game. The reasoning for this is because the Spire takes longer to complete than the Hydrogen, so it takes longer to have, you know, a supplemental anti-air army. Ooh, no Spore! Wow, no Spore at the 4th base, or the 3rd. 6 drones going to be going down. Ay. SHIN out of position. SHIN gets punished for his greed. And this is slowing SHIN down. Checking Classic's vision, he did not scout the tech. So Classic is still unaware of what's going on. You might be looking at this and you might be thinking, oh, as things, they confirm the upgrade. Yeah, big scout here does confirm the upgrade on the Cybercore. SHIN now knows. What I was going to say though is you might be thinking of Void Rays, don't they counter Corruptors? They do in low numbers, specifically in low numbers of Corruptors, but when you have enough Corruptors, you can bully Void Rays quite hard. Basically, you just have to respect the prismatic alignment. If you can bait out prismatic alignment, wait it out, and then engage, then Corruptors will overwhelm. Void Rays are heavily reliant on their prismatic alignment to actually deal with Corruptors. This is where it's going to be on Classic to stagger his prismatic alignment. You want to stagger it, you don't want to spend it all at once. Likewise, it won't just be about prismatic alignment, but also the slow zone. The slow zone and the cloak as well. From the mothership. We cannot waste them, we have to use them wisely to preserve the army and to fight back against the Corruptor. So it's going to be tense. But now we're building up to 8, soon to be 11 Void Rays. Going for the main! It is 2021. So we do activate the prismatic alignment. Lair goes down, recall back home, 1 Void Ray falls. Oh no. We're back to the COVID era of StarCraft. I've seen many a main lair die to mass Void Ray. On Site Delta, forget about it. Sorry, not Site Delta. On Jagannatha, that's what I was thinking of. Jagannatha. Smooch. It's all coming back. So now SHIN does rotate. Once again, just building up his Corruptors, but it's heavily delayed here due to his lack of lair. And without that lair, I mean, now Classic has time to build up his forces, to build up more Void Rays. Now, ideally, what does Classic really want here? A ground composition to support Storm, Archons. Like, Storm and Archons are going to be ideal here to support this army. Twilight Council just out on the way. This is 4 set eventually, Temple Archives and Storm and Archons, but is a ways away. Ideally, SHIN wants to max out and commit before that ground army builds up, but SHIN is missing his timing due to the fact that his lair was killed and his mining has been delayed. Gold base will help recover. Void Rays, Classic, he wants the gold. No. He wants the gold base, moves in. The gold will go down, there's no saving it. Corruptor's out of position. Oh no. Going back in time. For those that weren't around in 2020, 2021, I want to say coming into 2022 era of StarCraft, Stargate Void Ray openers and mass Void Ray into Sky Toss was very standard and very meta. Now, if you remember, one of the reasons why this build died down is because we had a bunch of nerfs hit the Void Rays. I want to say the cost and the build time was affected. Also batteries, as we also had like proxy Stargate be a thing for a while, and battery was also nerfed to the point where now batteries that morph outside of range of next side, they reduce when it comes to the shields that they provide. But like I want to say like there were like three different nerfs that hit at the same time that did target mass Void Ray. And then we had like the rise of Hero post-military service, where he popularized like Oracle Opener into Stalker or into Adepts. We had the Hero era, of course, coming into 2023. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Oh my god. Yeah, Prismatic. Oh, we have to respect it. No, we have to respect the Prismatic alignment. Oh my god. Another equal. Yeah, we'll lose one. One Void goes down. Recalls back home. Uh-oh. Who is it? Is it me? Who is it? Oh, Palmy. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, one of our casters did lag out. Again, there's a lot of casters here. There's Indy, there's Rex, there's Palmy, TKO, ourselves, Wardi. Hopefully their internet issues do clear up. Just so you know, so they increase the build time and cost. There you go, there you go. I want to say the shield battery nerf was also around that time as well, but that was targeting a very specific build. Movement speed was increased earlier when they reduced cost and build time. Yeah. But those nerfs were specifically targeting mass Void Ray. As they were very, very, very prevalent in the meta. I say mass Void Ray, just Stargate Void Ray openers and Sky Toss. The battery nerf was targeting proxy Void Ray into Tempest for TP, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's what we did mention. That was targeting specifically proxies in regards to the energy of the shield battery nerf. In my brain, that was also around that same era. But there could have been more time in between. Shield battery nerf was at the same time? Yeah. It was all at the same time. Ah, there you go. See, we remember. We can I mean, it was a big patch. It was a really important patch. Just because of what StarCraft was at the time. Burned into our skulls. As Classic is maxed. He's maxed out here with his Void Ray carrier army. Now this army is still lacking, I would say. Typically you do want more Archons and you want less Void Rays. And you want less carrier and more Tempest. So this army still is not perfect, but we're getting there. Nice feedbacks. Nice feedbacks. We've got our 8 carriers. Northern base is going to go down. There's a lot of damage output available here with this army. That is true. And speaking of an imperfect army, the spellcasters are coming in. Okay, there's 3 Vipers. We have 8 Infestors. Oh, Jesus. Things they try to force out a storm. Nice movement here by Classic. Classic, he's kind of reached that kind of death bull of an army. Once again, very nice feedbacks here. There's no ground support. There's nothing to punish these High Templar. They're just walking around like they're in the place. They just walk up and feedback everything. Like we need ground support to stop that from happening. Yeah, Shin, alas, there's no like lurker support. There's no ultras, limited Ling Bane. High Templar, they're just free to do whatever they want. Oof. Broodlord's now morphing in, but this was greedy here from Shin. Very greedy. And Classic is getting out of hand. Oh, there's the cloak. Yeah, nice cloak. Saves the High Templar. Mass feedback on the Vipers. Oof. Broodlords now have arrived. Nice fungal. Nice catch on one Templar. One Templar goes down. Again, those Templar are so exposed. They're so naked. Army moves in. Nice Storm. Yeah, nice Storm with the slow zone. Powerbomb with the carrier. And Classic is going to need to pull out. He's going to need to pull out here. Does take down the base. 14 drone kills, but he's running out of Voider. He's running out of support for the carriers. Classic has to get out of here. I mean, I say that. How many Corruptors are there? 19. Soon to be... Oh my god. Soon to be 40 Corruptors. The Corruptors are coming. There's a flanking Storm. The Classic, if we stick around too long, he will lose everything here. And yeah, there's 38 Corruptors. It's mainly a Corruptor-based army. It's 38 Corruptors, 5 Broodlords, barely anything on the ground. I'm not too fond of this army, I'll be honest, but we're going to try to make this work. The big concern with this composition here is the lack of anti-ground. We are slowly building up that Broodlord count, but as you saw earlier, without any strong anti-ground composition, the High Templar, they can kind of have their way with your spellcasters, right? They can feedback. They can storm. That's a kill, not a cancel. Ooh, okay. Nexus does fall. Now, SHIN, he is slowly building out that Broodlord count, getting up to 7 Broodlords down. That's not bad. Classic going for the gold. Uh-oh. Now, I think one thing that I do like about Broodlords here on Rorschach is the map is pretty small, right? It's a pretty small map, so the idea of being out of position and having a hard time rotating back and forth from one side to the other of the map with Broodlords is more viable here for sure. It's much more viable due to how little distance there is to traverse. Classic going for top right. SHIN, he moves in. We're going for a base trade. We've been trading bases. But last of course, Classic, his base trade is faster. Kills the expansion, kills the mineral line. SHIN just now engaging with the Nexus itself. Classic, he may just keep going, to be honest. Do we keep going? Oh, it looks like he wants to recall. Nexus falls. Recall into main. Oh my god, he gets in. Recalls into the main base. There's a hatchery here, but the tech is also here as well. The Ultra Cavern's going to go down. Massive pickoff. Takes down the cavern. High Templar move in. Broodlord's out of position. And remember, this was the Mothership recall. This is still a base recall. Uh oh. The Broodlords are looking exposed. Yeah, Broodlords are exposed. They're going to be going down one after the other. Corruptors go for the dive. Where are the Archons? Only 2 Archons. Nice Storm. And nice Storm, the army's cornered. Corruptors, they move in, and the Corruptors, they should kill everything. There are enough. Yeah, they go for the dive. They will one-shot the carriers one after the other. Every carrier will fall. And there was no base recall. I was assuming that as soon as the army came in, there it is. So late. It's such a late recall. Ay, ay, ay. Classic, he plummets in supply. Behind this, going back into carrier? The issue here is that carriers are not ideal against Corruptor, and there were 38 Corruptors. Now we're down to 13, getting back up to 19. Okay, 19 Corruptors. At this point, we're overmaking Broodlords. We still have 10. Like we still have 10 Broodlords. Now we're going into 19. The issue here is that we're eating into the Corruptor count. So now we're gonna have significantly less Corruptors. And remember, Classic is going back into mass carrier. So initially, I wasn't really liking this mass carrier like remax here for Classic, but it's gonna work well. Remember, that earlier fight was with 38 Corruptors. Now we're down to 19, and SHIN is maxed. Uh-oh. So again, I'm a little bit concerned that we're just too heavy on the Broodlords. What's the ground army? 4 Templar. That's it. Like, there's not much of a ground army. Like, we over-invested. We over-committed. Now, of course, we do have some Infestors and Vipers, so this can help support the Corruptors, and there's a world where we can, like, Fungal and Powerbomb and Abduct, and this can still work out, but I'm concerned that there are too many Broodlords. Broodlords are moving in. Classic, he still needs more time. Yeah, he needs a little bit more time. Neural's about to finish. Shin's pushing forward. Classic, he needs his 5 carriers. He needs them. Oh. Okay. Corruptor's unable to engage. Another base will fall. At the same time, Zella run by. Shin is burning through his bank. We're squeezing out a couple of Corruptors, getting up to 23? 22. Okay, 22 Corruptors. Oh, he wants in. Massive feedbacks. Yeah, feedbacks, a punish. Storm as well. Nice movement here with the High Templar. Oh, that was premature. That was a bit of a premature cloak. We'll get one of the Broods. Fungal does try to punish, but the Void Rays, I believe, get away. Yep, they do get away. Oh my god, massive storm. Massive storm. Here come the infestors. They can neural. They can try to. Oh my god. Going for the chain fungals. Void Rays activate. Corruptors are moving in. And do we have enough Corruptors? Oh my god, the infestors will get thrown away. Oh my god. The infestors. Yeah, it's a meat grinder. All the infestors go down. Now we're down to 16 Corruptors. Is it going to be enough? Does focus on the carriers. He does try. Down to 14. Down to 10. Not enough. Yeah, not enough Corruptors. As we mentioned, too many Broodlords. Not enough Corruptors. And with that Classic, he takes the fight. GG gets called 2-0 in favor of Classic. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Shin, he misread the Remax. I'm pretty sure Shin was assuming, because it's very common to do this. It's very common for a Protoss player, they will lose their Skytos army, and then bam, Remax with Stalker. That's very common in the previous patch. Here, Classic, he Remaxed on Carrier, and I was doubting him. I was like, oh, I'm not really fond of this Remax on Carrier due to the Corruptor count. But then Shin, he overmade Broodlords. He went up to 19 Broodlords. That meant that he had a minuscule amount he had half the amount of Corruptors he had previously. So you saw that he did not have enough anti-air. Not enough anti-air. He could not fight the Skytos head on, not with such few Corruptors. Again, I believe that Shin just assumed that it was going to be a ground transition. I think he just assumed that, oh, like I have a low Broodlord count, he's probably going to try to counter me with Stalkers, and he was just trying to read that kind of transition when that wasn't the case, right? It wasn't the case. It was caught with his pants back. GG. The pants were down, Pappy. GG, well played. Oh. And with that, we are getting into game number... Well, with that, we're getting into our next series. Our Classic will advance on into the next round. Meanwhile, we are jumping into our PvP. It's going to be a rematch from the RSL qualifier. It's going to be Trap versus Nightmare. Let's go.